Hello there again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man, and we're looking at a BERNINA, barely make it out, B535 over here. And this is a big, beautiful, bodacious BERNINA, which they mostly all are. This is not my favorite one. My favorite, of course, is going to be the 830. It has no electronics. It's just an analog, top of the game. Just like when I say the favorite singer is the one back in the late 50s, the 401, and my favorite Kenmore is the 70s model 158 front load 15 class. It's like a famous general once said, you go to war with the army you have, not the army that you wish you had. And the same way with sewing machines. You end up with the machine you have at your, availabilities. When you're out there looking around, you can get what's out there. And you end up say, well, I'll spend a bunch of money. BERNINA's a quality manufacturer. They make good stuff. You say, well, I'll get me a BERNINA. And you just make the best of it. Yeah, you're going to say in the comments, does it have plastic? Oh my gosh, does it have plastic? It's got tons of plastic. It's a computer. From here over is a computer. There's a tiny little motor sitting up here in the top with a little plastic fan on it. And it's got some metal down. It's a well-made sewing machine. If you're going to spend some money and get a nice sewing machine, this would be it. Of course, they picked up on the stainless steel bed plate. That's kind of a thing. And people are going for that. Well, gee, if it's got a stainless steel bed plate, well, then the thing must be just absolutely made of metal throughout. See? And that's aluminum. The metal's not sticking to it. And maybe it's just alloy. There's metal in there somewhere. But, metal is just not something you're going to get in a sewing machine these days. It is a commodity that is just not happening. So if somebody sells you a machine nowadays and go, it's all metal, mostly metal, got a lot of metal. They're using the metal word, but they're not being real straightforward with what's going on because they're computers, the ones that aren't analog. If you don't have a 15 class front load Kenmore or something like that, if they're computerized, if it's got a screen like this, come on, it's a computer with some sewing ability. And it's a nice machine. People buy these because BERNINA has a dealer network. They'll stand behind the machines. If you get one that's got a problem, they'll take care of it. So you got something going there as opposed to just buying one online and they send it to you and it doesn't work and they go, well, throw it away. We don't even want you to send it back. It's not worth anything. You won't get that BERNINA. They take care of their machines, take care of their customers. So they're good little machines. Well, the reason this one came in is because it wasn't sewing quietly like this. It was making a horrendous noise. And I'm not even kidding. And up in the upper right-hand corner up here, there's a motor that sits up here, and it's got a dry belt. It's got a fan on it. And on this one, what happened was this. And I took a shot of it, and I'll let you see what it did here. As soon as I cue it up, get it to go. There we go. Get going. There we go. Well, you can see what's wrong with this picture because this fan goes on the end of that to keep the motor cool. It's falling off. That was the noise. This was grinding away. You can see where it was grinding away here. Glad you stopped sewing when you did. And you folks that are sewing along, my customers call me quite often and they say it's making a weird noise. And I respect that because they know what it's supposed to sound like because they've been sewing on it, and they know when something doesn't sound right. And they'll call me and they'll say, something doesn't sound right. Well, you have to respect that because they know what sounds right. So, okay, I better take a look at it. And she stopped at just the right time, or else that fan, which was laying in there, grinding away on that belt, it wouldn't have been as easy of just putting it back on. It would have been quite a deal. So things will happen with machinery, and you just have to expect that things will happen with machinery. Fans fall off, belts come off, things happen, and you just got to get it taken care of. As far as encouraging anyone to take care of this themselves, I would discourage you. I would tell you, don't do it. To get this off, get the back off, get the hand wheel off, there are tricks that BERNINA put in play to make sure that If you don't know the secret handshake, you're not getting into this one. And there's little plastic tabs and little liners and just little things that have to be perfect to get it apart and then to get it back together. And you don't want to be goofing things up, cobbling things up, and messing up your machine. Take it to the Bernina dealer, bring it to me, bring it to somebody who knows what they're doing. Take it to somebody who's accomplished in this sort of thing, and they'll do you a good job. The Hippocratic oath is first, do no harm. First, do no harm. So if you're going to work on one of these and you take one problem and trade it for another one that you caused, then you haven't gained anything. So if you're not going to be patient, if it makes a noise, take it to the Bernina dealer. Take it to a service professional that you trust that'll do you a good job. Because, see, a lot of times a person should say, you know what? You need to take this to so-and-so. I do that all the time. You got this Viking Husqvarna with the Hootis going on. Take it to the Viking Husqvarna dealer because they will tell you what's going on with it, and they sold it to you. Let them have the joy of fixing it. Don't inflict that on somebody else. With a Bernina, it's not so bad. I work on a lot of Berninas, and they construct these in a manner that makes sense. Not like some manufacturers that just, they just slap them together. Yeah, it's got plastic, but they all have plastic. The new ones nowadays, there's no getting around it. There are no all-metal machines. If somebody tells you they're selling you an all-metal machine or a lot of metal or it's this or it's that, they're misrepresenting it. It's not the fact. So you're going to get electronics. You're going to spend some money. You're going to get all the fancy doodads and stuff like that. But just know going in, who you buy it from is every bit as important as what you buy. If you're spending a pretty good chunk of change like you will on one of these, make sure it's from a dealer. If you get one used, get it from a dealer. If you have a dealer that you can, they're all like 2 months behind trying to keep up with what's going on. They're still doing the aftermath of the COVID onslaught with everybody who's sewing, but they're trying to get caught up now. So I'm getting a whole lot of machines from people that didn't want to wait. I got one yesterday. The lady said she was going to be 2 months on her Bernina. So she brought it to me. I got it going for her and delivered it the next day for her. So be careful with these machines. No matter how good they are, no matter how much you spend, they're going to have an issue. Maybe, maybe not. But if it does, take it to someone who can take care of it. Don't try it yourself on these. You can goof things up, and then you've really, really got nothing to show for it except a brick. You can really brick these things out by touching the wrong thing at the wrong time. So just a little warning there. So gonna be a happy ending on this one. Got the fan back on, the motor. It sews quietly now. Makes a nice stitch, nice little machine. She'll be happy. She'll get it back tomorrow. Good as new.